Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So after all this anticipation, after all this hype, Nicki Minaj finally released her response to Remy Ma. You know, we were waiting to see what kind of response she would have. And I must say that I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I mean, many people who follow hip hop know that lyrically, Nicki Minaj is not messing with Remy Ma. Remy Ma is a better lyricist, a better MC, period. So we're not surprised to see that Nicki can't compete. And Nicki's response was weak as hell, and I'm going to tell you why it was weak. It was weak because it was primarily centered on how much money Remy Ma makes. It was centered on how many records Remy Ma has sold and all that kind of stuff. And in real hip-hop circles, that kind of stuff is irrelevant. People don't judge MCs based on how many units they have moved. Some of the best MCs are underground MCs that don't receive a lot of airplay on radio. MCs like MF Doom, you know, people like that. People like Sean Price from, you know, he passed away about a year ago or so. But people like that are real MCs, and game recognized game. People who are into hip-hop recognize that you don't measure an MC by how many units they have sold. I mean, have we forgotten that Vanilla Ice sold millions of records? Have we forgotten about how many records MC Hammer sold? But most people who are serious about hip-hop look at both of those MCs as a joke, as a, you know, as clowns and stuff like that. And many people that are purists about this art form of hip-hop look at Nicki Minaj the same way. I mean, she, in many ways, is a clown and a joke. But this is today's hip-hop, though. I mean, this is what we have right now. You know, this art form is centered around materialism and stuff like that. And really, Nicki Minaj is not what you would think of as a real MC or a real hip-hop artist. Right now, she's basically, for the most part, a pop artist. She is more into like mainstream music. You know, she has crossover appeal and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, so it was just a weak response. You know, real heads know that if you're looking at the battle, Remy Ma won this, won it hands down. And also there were some reports about how Nicki Minaj basically went behind the scenes to make sure that this song, Sheether, doesn't get played. You know, that Remy Ma can't perform it because of the copyright issues and all that kind of stuff, because she used Nas's beat from Ether. And I just think that's some weak, underhanded kind of stuff, to do some sneaky greaseball stuff behind the scenes to make it difficult for her to eat off that song or to perform the song. You know, I think that's a, in the words of Cannabis, that's a bitch move. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so that's how I feel about that, man. And then I want to address, like, you know, these people who want to make this into a bigger issue. You have, you know, these people who are social critics here on YouTube who want to say, well, this says something about black women not being able to get along and blah, blah, blah. No, it doesn't. I mean, this is just an individual dispute between two individuals. I mean, two MCs. And it's just that simple. It's not some deep message about black women not being able to get along. You know, when individuals have disputes, you know, usually people don't make judgments about the entire group that those individuals belong to. They don't say, oh, these two white actors are disagreeing. What does that say about white men? You know, come on, man. They don't do that kind of stuff. But when it comes to black women, all of a sudden there's some huge generalization that needs to be drawn from one dispute between two individuals. And I think that's silly. And then also I want to address, like, these people who say, well, why talk about this? I mean, you know, why highlight this negativity and this and that? And I get what y'all are saying, but I think that there are other issues in life besides, you know, just serious political issues or even serious thought-provoking issues you know, sometimes you can be lighthearted. You can have fun. You can joke about things. You know, you can relax. And it's also to understand that this happens in the context of hip-hop. Hip-hop is an art form that was born out of competition, born out of people battling with each other. Whether we're talking about MCs battling verse for verse, rhyme for line, bar for bar, or we're talking about dancers. Like back in the day, breakdancing was real popular, so you had rival dance crews competing with dance moves and all that kind of stuff. And you even had competition when it comes to DJs. Like DJs would battle each other. They would have battle contests, and you would also have battles between like graffiti artists. Graffiti artists were in constant competition with each other, and competition helps improve people's skills. You know, it sharpens people up. It's like iron going against iron sharpens iron. And a prime example of that would be Nas. Like many people have said, well, Nas has fallen off, you know, because he had released, you know, after releasing the classic Illmatic and that classic It Was Written, you know, I think those are two classics. He came with two other albums and people was like, nah, I think Nas is falling off. But when Jay-Z hit him with that Takeover song, Nas was forced to step up his game, and he created a classic album, Stillmatic. So it's like through this competition, the art gets better and better, and that's what I really expected from this this little battle between Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma. But it looks like it's not going in that direction, you know, because Nicki Minaj didn't step up. She didn't step up her game at all. She put out some lackluster song. This is probably going to be a hit, you know, again, because it follows that typical formula that Cash Money has. Because that's where hip-hop is right now. You know, that's what hip-hop is right now. It's like the real MCs have been pushed to the margin, and these bubblegum pop MCs are put at the forefront. So in some respects, this hip-hop is dead. I mean, it's like the real hip-hop is in the margins. So the bottom line is this: Remy Ma won that battle, and if I was Remy Ma, I wouldn't even come back with any further response, because Nicki Minaj is already dead. The real heads know this. The real people that appreciate hip-hop know this. Now those little kids that don't know the history, you know, those kids out in the suburbs that like Nicki Minaj and don't know the history and don't know the facts, they'll ride with that. And it is what it is. But the real heads know who won this battle. So with that, I'll say peace to each and every one of you. Tell me your point of view. What do you think about this? For my real hip-hop people. All right? Peace.